Okay, let's try and give you a bit of a view of this seat and my various thinkings on it. So it's got a cut down tray underneath. All the electrics are a bit of a mess, and I will get round to having a little bit of a tidy up. So what's the plan and what's the issue? I'm still not sure about the radiator, about the license plate. It is lit and everything, it is there, it is the right angle, it might be okay, it might not. Don't really want to put it on the side like a bobber because you lose the ability to bank a fair amount, but hey. But you can see 2 bolts welded on, a bit rusted, but nothing can't be cleaned. I've only got one on the back one, not got the forward one. So it's got housing on there, don't worry about the seat, that's all gashed. It has been cut back quite roughly, but nothing that can't be sorted. Now when you hook it on the what else I want to show is a bit of a lip there, so a lip and slide that effectively should go under that, but catches probably because it's checker plate more than anything else. So I might just try and hack some of that checker plate back, but hey. So what it's designed to do, hook under, and that's the first bolt, and on the bolt at the back as well. Now the problem you've got is the gap next to the tank there, which looks a little bit wanky. I can't quite push that all the way under there. I might need to do a bit of bending, but just for distance. So that's the back one, that's the front one, like that. Now obviously there is no bolt on the other side to secure it as yet, but that leaves a considerably smaller gap. In fact, it just butts up against the edge of the tank there, which is nice. So what I think I want to do is, whether it's fiberglass, which I do have and I've never done, or whether it's, I don't know, something else, is to build that edge and close it off. So I just think it looks a little bit toss. I don't know. I'm going to have to have a think, because it just looks a little bit, just looks like it needs to come around more. Now that might just be tidying up that edge and building up the foam, I don't know. But what I do know that I need to do, because this is just all pulled out anyway, is take the seat off it and have a look at what I've got, see whether or not I can actually rebuild around the edge, or indeed if I can't. I don't know yet. It's all a bit of a mystery, but I do like the cafe-esque dome on the back. It gives it a really good, I don't know, like ant butt, I suppose, and plus it's a nice decent surface to ultimately to colour some variety across there. But what I am going to do is take the seat off. I'm going to need to do it to repair all of this shite anyway. Is take the seat off and see what we've got underneath. The one thing that I am pretty convinced I'm going to have to do is sort out that like metal clip under there, so it does secure under the seat. I have ridden it on just one bolt. It skews because it doesn't have that clip underneath. Now what I could end up doing is, if I sort that clip out there and it bolts here, that could be secure enough. I don't know yet. I think it might be, frankly, at which point I could just fill in the gap on the other side and just have it secured in the 2 spots, assuming it doesn't move anywhere. I don't know. Failing that, it's drill through the other side and make another grip. But I really don't think that's a million miles away at all. Right, I'm going to take this off, take the seat element off, the foam off, and see what we've got underneath. I think it's glued, so it might be a hack and hope. Cool. Right, about 10 minutes later, and I think I might have cracked it. First things first, seat off. It was just like glue, sticky padded down. Doesn't need to be anything more, but I've got some really strong Velcro, like industrial grade Velcro, that I'm going to put on there. Reason being, in the future, if I if I get one of my battery extension pieces like I've used on the diversion, just slightly outshot, and I can't really move you, just see it hanging out. There you can, top right of your screen, little battery strip out of it. It means that if you want to charge the battery, you just pull the Velcro seat off, plug it on, have it hanging out there. That's brilliant. Yeah, so I could get away, it's just the glue's come off. So I could easily get away with just re-stretch, re-glue, chuck it back on. Not sure whether or not I'm going to do that yet, but yeah, I just need to peel it off and re-glue it. So even as a temporary measure, even if that's not my my end state, it might do me for now. On the actual base itself, sorted, I think. So it did just have bolts or holes at the end for the bolts, which was for when it was in its original position, i.e. all the way back. Didn't have any extra holes made here for when it's in this forward position, which is currently sat in. So my kind of guide strips in there. The clip that went underneath I've had to move back, so just drilled through the pot rivets. I tried to pot rivet it back on, but mine are too small, which is frustrating. But yeah, I'll get away with that. They're nice low profile. And it's only there's actually a bit of a dent in that piece as well, so it's not gonna hold it out too much. If it does, I can just drill it. It's fine. Yeah. I have drilled a hole on the other side, and I'm going to have to JB weld a nut onto that. It's not going to be holding much anyway, so it's going to be holding it up more than anything else. I would love to spot weld it on, but I don't have the kit, and I've never welded. Although, like many things, I intend to try at some point. But the big thing is, I now get why that's cut off there. I could get some plastic, maybe build it across there. I might have a look at the feasibility of that, but actually I think it looks fine. It needs a bit of finessing because it's a bit sharp, but yeah, I can't really see the point of gluing anything on, because I think it works on that line. I do still need to obviously tidy all this up, and there's a lot of tidying up to do, but that it works, and it's considerably quicker and easier than I was expecting. Particularly like being able to, well, can't do it yet, when you can just Velcro that on and off and get straight to the battery for charging, because ditto with the bobber. It's all very well pissing around under the seat, but if you make it too inconvenient to change a battery, to charge a battery, it's just self-defeating in the end. So you need a way of, you need an extension, or you need something, and that is just fabulous. That if I can just Velcro that on and off. Say Velcro, it sounds really chod. It's not. It's proper. You know, it's proper hang bodies from ceilings type stuff. Brill. So what now? Got to get back to work. So nothing for now. I might see if I've got any half decent epoxy resin glue. Yeah, and see if I can sort that seat out. But actually the seat underneath is fine, nothing wrong with it at all. I just need to get that stretched across. I've got some decent clamps somewhere to hold it while the glue dries. Yeah, chuffed. That's made my life considerably easier. Cool. Cheers all. Right, so excuse the noise, but it's pissing down out there in the garage with a bit of fake light. So what I have moved the seat back round. It's currently got all the clamps on it, just holding it into place. So that's pretty much good to go. I'll leave the clamps on doing their thing. I have, in my normal cardboard engineering way, so effectively this face down on a bit of card, drew round, worked out what I wanted to do, trimmed it off, etc. and all I've done so far is I've just plasticked it. I mean, it's clear because that's what I had, but it's not going to be a window or anything. A load of JB on there. It's still quite wet, still quite tacky. I'll leave it overnight to do. I've left edges, and I'll try and sand them off just to bring them around a little bit. So effectively brought around there. Like I say, it's clear because that's what I've got in terms of thin, reasonably lightweight plastic. It's not a problem, it'll be sprayed over anyway, so it needs a bit of clearing off, bit of clearing round, but I think that's gonna look better. I've also, while I had the JBL, just chucked a washer over the top just to protect that fiberglass a little bit because it's starting to get a little bit eaten up. So yeah, that's it as far as that for the evening. Just going to leave that to cure and sort itself out. Had a quick visit this afternoon. Nice bloke, Tony, who is doing up his old man's 450 or 454 Kawasaki, so like the bobber but not bobbered in its original state. He was after some spare bits. He was after some panelling actually. I didn't have any of that, but I've just passed on the spare bits that I'm not going to use on the bobber that I'm tapping with my right hand because I'm currently using it as a frame for this. What I did last night is had a quick go over the front mud guard, which is looking pretty cool. So that's the red, how it's all going to look. As ever, I'm my own biggest critic. It's good, but it's not great. Well, no, it's great. Yeah, it's not perfect. There are some imperfections in it, but hey, it's a damn sight better than it was, and looks quite sweet. I think probably needs a bit more polish on it. I'm just leaving that to do this thing over the back. Right, so I'm going to let all this dry tonight. Maybe have a look at it in the morning. Tomorrow night's business, nice little evening job, just to sand those off a little bit more. Now, because that's not because it's clear, because it's new plastic, it's going to be a bugger to get any paint to stick on it. I do have some adhesive promotion spray. It's not a great deal of point in, well, you could primer it, but primer's really for a metal surface to stop the rust more than anything else. It needs something to help it stick. It's a bastard to use, so I'm only going to use a little bit of it. But first things first, I need to see if that works at all, rubs down, and see how it goes overall. Give me 2 seconds to get you down. So yeah, that's you down, looking at the angle. Didn't really need to do it, but it's filled it off a fair amount, and obviously that'll be a blacked out colour, so I quite like that. I think that's going to work quite nicely. Right, all done with various bits of 5 minutes spare today, but getting there, really is getting there. Cool, catch you later.